Hello everyone, this is a video about how to do your artist development plan. So, what is it? The artist development plan is a plan. It is about how you are going to communicate your core values. So this is a presentation where you put forwards a plan for developing yourself as an artist. So the main areas that you want to look at are obviously music, and that includes lyrics and songs, and production, photos, stage clothes, lighting, and that's in performance, creative repertoire, music videos, a biography, your actual performance, social media, and fan relationships. So to do this task, you need to create sub-headings for all of those things and discuss your plan for how you are going to develop yourself as an artist. Now, to do this well, it will be great if you link some of the ideas to your artist development report. So that was the document that you made talking about an artist that you'd studied. So kind of things that you might want to include are maybe short snippets of your demos. Reference points is a really big one. Talk about what other artists have done that you aspire to be like and discuss their work in relation to your work. In terms of music, put together a playlist on Apple Music or Spotify, or a mixtape. Put together kind of 10 tracks that you can imagine your music sitting within. Put together a mood board of images and talk about what it is about those images that communicates and why. So in order to do this task really well, then you do want to engage in some of the kind of stuff on the reading list. Some of the videos, put in some of the kind of ideas from the guest lecturers discussed in class. Add some weight to your presentation. And by weight, I mean critical thinking. So, critical thinking, I'm going to put a definition up on the screen. There we go. That's the definition of critical thinking. So add that dimension in to your presentation. The presentation itself should contain visuals. So put these things into your presentation. Put like the mood board in, put the playlist in. Build it on Prezi or Keynote, or I forget the Microsoft one. What's that called? PowerPoint. And make it look good. You know, this is an artistic thing. You should aim for about 10 minutes, not less, not more than 15 minutes. So good examples of adding weight, adding critical ideas to your work from the reading list include maybe some of the ideas from Seth Godin's talk on how ideas spread, or maybe from Austin Kleon's books, Show Your Work and Steal Like an Artist. There's also some great books and talks by a New York academic called Malcolm Gladwell. One is called The Tipping Point, the other one is called Outliers, and they contain some really interesting stuff for you to put in. There's Tom Robinson's How to Get Your Music on the Radio. He came obviously in and did a talk for us, and also there's a lecture video on the artist development reading list. Just having a look at my computer. There's also a good talk, another talk by Seth Godin called The Tribes We Lead, that's all about thinking of your thing, in this case artist or band, and thinking about not kind of maybe making a song or an album, but leading a movement. There's also some good stuff on the BBC. There's a good documentary on pop music industry that's also on the reading list. And if you want to kind of go deeper, there's some heavier stuff. There's Kristen Lieb's Gender Branding and the Modern Music Industry. There's some a really good book on music industry by Patrick Vikstrom called Music in the Cloud. It's really interesting and it's easy to read. And there's also the unpronounceable name of Csikszentmihalyi and his kind of ideas on creativity as a social system. So we did a lecture on that last week. There's also the videos called Everything is a Remix that we looked at, which we looked at in combination with the Great Hip Hop Hoax. There's a couple of good documentaries at the moment on BBC iPlayer. There's The Making of Graceland by Paul Simon, and there's one I watched last night about Gary Newman, and that includes a lot of stuff about his songwriting process. So there's a ton of stuff out there. I'm urging you from reading your first assignments that you need to widen and deepen your research. Something I forgot to say is metrics. Metrics are a really good way of adding impact to your work. Now, what is a metric? Well, a metric is any kind of figure that can be used in a report to value something. And there's some great sources of music industry data and metrics. Music Week often has some, Billboard has some, and there's also like the Next Big Hype, there's Hype Machine, there's also like Facebook Analytics, Google Analytics, Twitter Analytics, Instagram Analytics. All this kind of stuff adds extra weight to your work and then consequently will help you achieve higher marks.